Hello everyone. Today we are going to be doing an inner child reading, what your inner child wants you to know. And I already started off by pulling the first card from the inner child oracle deck. So from this deck right here. And so that card is number 7. Breathe in. Practice breath work today. Okay, so we have that card. That's going to be the main theme. I've also already pre-pulled some oracle cards here just to save some time, and so I'm going to set those aside here. I'm going to pull one card from each of these decks, and then we'll use the tarot deck for clarification at the end. All right, so leave this aside here. I hope you're all doing well. What does the inner child of our audience want them to know? What does the inner child of the audience have to say of our viewers? Sorry, it's really hot, so my hands are sticking to the cards. So we have number 4, wisdom, the owl. So breathe in, practice your breath work. And then wisdom, number 4, with the owl. Some of you may need to do breath work. Need to focus on breath work a bit. Sometimes in order to calm that inner child, you need to do some breath work. I'm going to pull a couple more of these. Let's see what we get here. What does our inner child want them to know? So sticky. Okay, 2. We have 2 for that one. If I can do that instead. Okay, so I'm going to read number 7. Breathe in, the description for it. Okay, so breathe in. We breathe in, we breathe out. This is such a simple yet momentous thing. Our breath brings life to our bodies and has the power to bring peace to our souls. If you have pulled this card, then it might be time to focus on your breath today. So the self-care exercise is, this exercise will focus mainly on becoming aware of your breath as you go through your day. Take time to stop and notice your breath. How are you breathing? How does it make you feel? Each time you stop to focus on your breath, make an effort to deepen that breath. How does breathing deeper make you feel? Do you feel more peace when you do so? Continue this practice throughout the day, noticing your breath and then deepening your breath. And then it also has a responsive journal prompt. It says, after practicing this exercise for a whole day, ask yourself how this practice has impacted you and how you feel. Are you aware of any new sensations in your body? So practicing breathing really brings your attention back to your body so that you are paying attention to how you feel on the inside. And this is a really good indicator that something is going on if you're feeling anxious or whatnot. Like your inner child will let you know what's going on within you by how you're breathing, how you're holding yourself, if you're in pain, that kind of thing. So when you're able to take that deep breath in and slowly release it, it brings the focus back on the body so that you can be aware of the sensations of your body. So the next card is, in a place close to home, there was a shelter. Live in your truth. So this is your shelter. In your shelter, live in your truth. Your body is your temple, and your inner child lives inside that temple, and it wants you to speak the truth. I've done quite a bit of inner child healing work, and one thing that I've always noticed is that when I've gone into meditation, and in my meditation I've created a sacred space for myself and for my inner children. And there have been times where I've gone into that space and my inner child has said something to me, and it's been like, whoa, where did that come from? Because they are going to be brutally honest with you. They don't hold back whatsoever. So, and sometimes you're like, well, was I just imagining that? And it can take you a little time, like sometimes, to figure out what it is that they're trying to tell you in that statement. But creating, by learning to identify and come back to the body through the breath, and then creating a safe space within yourself so that your inner child can come forth and speak the truth, that's really important. It's really going to make you aware of some of the things that you're doing that you aren't even aware of, that are keeping you from being in your truth. In a place close to home, there were bottled emotions. Set them free. So again, your inner children are going to be telling you like, what emotions you're keeping bottled up inside. And it's time to let them free. So living your truth and really getting in touch with your emotions that have been buried is going to be very important. Of course, your guides are going to be with you on this journey as well. The Green Man. Embrace your wildness. Embrace your wildness. So this one can be calling you to be a little bit more playful in your time with your inner children. Like when you get in touch with your inner child, it's important that you take time to sometimes just let go and relax and get messy. Like sometimes you just need to get messy and let that inner child play. Do some finger painting, go run through a puddle, go play in the mud, go play in the dirt, like, and allow yourself to get messy. And that too can help ground you back in and allow your inner child to feel like they're seen. Okay, so we're going to pull these. Success, 47. $33, reflecting pool, stillness. Starry night, number 41, acceptance. Number 6, the mentor. Again, an owl. Put that one over here. It's there. Thriving. Number 3, commune with nature. Success. Stillness. So here we've got 333. And 444. 47, 41, but 4 as well. So there's a lot about getting back in touch with nature. Grounding may be important. But playing in nature is definitely going to be, like, take yourself for a walk, go play in nature, go to a local park, or just in your backyard. If you go to the park, go to, like, if there's a playground at the park, go play on the swings. Like, really get back in touch with your inner child, because they really want to talk to you. Like, it really makes you aware of the emotions that you're repressing. And then it's really important when your inner child starts to come forward, there's this need to accept them as they are. Like, what you see is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. So sometimes when your inner child comes forward, like when you initially do inner child healing, sometimes you'll see your 5-year-old self or your inner teen self, and you can look the way that you did at that time, but more often than not, the inner child that is truly in need of help is going to be this child that comes forward, and they could look totally alien to you, which is what happened in my own circumstances. I had already started doing inner child healing, and so I was seeing my normal 5-year-old self, and I had my inner teen came forward at one point, and then one day it was like this little shadow alien girl came forward, and she didn't even look human, like, but I realized, oh, this is this is the actual real part of myself that truly is wounded and actually needs real help. And as you heal that inner child and love them and accept them and let them have a voice and be acknowledged, their appearance begins to change over time. Or it can. Like, this is all, it's all depending on you, right? So this was my experience with my own inner child. Her appearance changed, and she eventually began to look like a normal little girl, and then also then transcended that. And the point is to reintegrate that child back into yourself, so you are living from your truth. So communing with nature, being out in nature is important. Being completely accepting of who and what they have to say is going to lead ultimately to your success. Sometimes you'll need to be in stillness, do some meditation, look within. And what you see is not always what is really there. Like, I thought I was dealing with one child that I thought was my inner child, and it turns out this little shadow aspect of my inner child was the true inner child, but she didn't feel comfortable enough to come forward right away until I was in a place where I would be ready to accept her. So that may be the case. And this is going to help you to thrive down the road. Explore, embrace your wildness. And there is wisdom in this. You have, and the mentor here. So once you start down this path, you can look, like, there's lots of online videos, guided meditation videos on how to do an inner child healing or inner child meditation and whatnot. Two owls here, and both remind me of like our spirit guides. So you know, you can always ask your spirit guides for help, because you're not alone in this. The mentor, and you are essentially going to become the parent that you never had as a child. Like, so there's usually a need to, like, and I'm not saying that your parents were the most horrible parents, or maybe they were. Like, that's all on your perspective and what happened in your childhood. Everybody's stories are different. But oftentimes, inner child healing is because there was something that your parents couldn't provide because of their own wounding. So you may not have been seen enough. You may not have felt like you had permission to truly be yourself. You may have been, like, felt like you had to be quiet all the time, not be bothered, or not express your emotions. You may have gotten in trouble for speaking your emotions or speaking your mind, therefore needing to let those emotions come forward now. So you're going to be the one reparenting. You're going to be the mentor. You're going to be reparenting your inner child. Scooch that over. Scooch, scooch. Okay. Is there any other words, any other clarity you can provide on this situation, Spirit? What else else can you tell us, Spirit, about this situation? What does the inner child, what do we need to know? What does the inner child want us to know? The Tower. The Tower. So this is Rapunzel's tower. So you may be going through a tower moment, or there may be tower moments coming. Tower moments are great opportunities for you know, learning more about yourself and digging deep and healing. So there may be a tower moment coming, or you may have just come out of a tower moment recently. King of Swords. Yes. Right beside thriving. So, yeah. King of Swords is the pinnacle of achieving clarity. Clarity, the truth. So this is going to bring you this tower moment, and really getting in touch with your inner child is going to bring you clarity in your life. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Some of the things that are going to come up are going to be difficult. It's not always, this is not an easy process to go through to do the shadow work and the inner child healing. So, you know, there's going to be volatile moments. Like you see the volcano here in the back. That's right now, it's probably very much like these bottled emotions. It's just all simmering. It's just waiting to explode. So take your time with it. Go slow. I know sometimes we can get caught up in trying to rush through a lot of stuff, but sometimes we really need to let something come forward and then just sit with it for a few days. Especially like if your inner child suddenly comes forward and like tells you something and you just don't have a clue of where it's coming from or what it means, then allow yourself some time to sit and think about it. Comfort your inner child, hold them, rock them, tell them you love them, you know, reassure them that you're doing the best you can, that you're going to help them, that you're here to protect them. And sit with it and try and get clarity on where this is coming from. And sometimes you can even get that clarity from your inner child. They'll always tell you the truth of how they feel. So don't try to take on too much at once. Like just deal with one thing at a time as it comes along. So there's a lot of bottled emotions here. There's a lot of fiery energy here that's going to be coming to the surface, and it's going to require you to be the one that brings clarity to the situation and calmness, and to be the parent. But ultimately, this is going to be, you know, this is going to lead you to thrive. This is for your highest good. So this is a good thing. And remember to breathe. Just breathe through it. Breathing through this is going to bring you back to your emotions, back to the center. And this is ultimately going to lead to your success. Anything else you want to say, Spirit? Any last words? Any advice? Any last words, Spirit? Yep, Six of Swords. So we're moving into calmer waters. Through acceptance. Yeah, you're going to get into your Empress energy here. Yeah, it's going to lead. You're going to be moving from these tower moments, and you're going to come into calmer waters because you're going to know how to self-regulate. You're going to know how to calm your inner child, calm your emotions, process those emotions, heal that wounding, and you are going to be calmer, happier, more centered in your divine energy. All right. So I hope that is helpful for some of you. I hope you have a lovely day, and if you like this video, please check the box, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.